Hey Saints, welcome back. I'm Brittany. And I'm Jessica, and today we are celebrating Fancy Friday for Snow Week. In state and national news, according to National Public Radio, Lori Swanson, Minnesota's Attorney General, has joined a lawsuit alleging that President Trump's recent immigration ban from several primarily Muslim countries is unconstitutional and should not be enforced. Her office announced it Wednesday night.
Reporter Conor has more on the story, including a local connection and a first-hand account of what was taking place in the New York City's JFK airport immediately following the ban.
I have some issues with the fact that President Trump didn't go through the correct channels with immigration and maybe the Department of Homeland Security simply to make sure that it was legal in all realms. The firing of the Attorney General kind of points that out. Everyone, I think every American would say they want to be safer from terrorism, but I also think it brings up a conversation about what we viewed as terrorism. For example, there was a killing at a mosque in Quebec recently. Maybe in response, maybe not, doesn't really matter. What does matter is that it's terrorism. Not from Iran, not from Iraq, not from the countries listed, but a different type of terrorism that we don't often acknowledge. So I think that's important. I also don't know if it does us any favors in terms of world relations. I think that isn't a great way to improve those relations, and I also think that it gives a little bit of terrorists an opportunity to recruit on the backside of it. All that'll be wait and see stuff.
And what happened when the executive order was signed was that basically all entry to the U.S. for people who are citizens of 7 predominantly Muslim countries were being turned away. They were being detained at the airport, so they never made it past that passport desk.
An executive order is written. There are attorneys who challenge it in court. A judge is called on to decide. The judge makes the call based on the facts and the law, and then everybody moves forward accordingly. And agencies, executive agencies are called on to follow the law. They receive legal advice about, okay, so we have this executive order and we have this judge's order. How do we reconcile those things? And they get advice about how to go forward, and it has real practical effects. Absolutely.
But what happened with lawyers in the immigration law community and in kind of the refugee assistance community, when this executive order was signed and the first planes touched down with people who had flown from these countries, I mean, immediately on Saturday, lawyers were at the airport trying to meet with these detained persons and filing petitions in federal court at the federal courthouse in the Eastern District of New York in Brooklyn, right across the street from where I live. And a judge heard an emergency motion Saturday evening and granted an injunction, which is a temporary form of legal relief that's meant to freeze the status quo, to keep things from changing until the court has a chance to fully evaluate the case. And so Judge Ann Donnelly of EDNY issued an injunction forbidding the federal government from detaining or even sending people subject to the executive order back to their country of origin.
It points out how divided we are. We're incredibly divided as a country, and I don't see that getting better, and this certainly hasn't helped.
Thanks, Conor. Now on a more local note, seniors should make sure to order caps and gowns by February 28th.
Also, make sure you get your yearbook ordered. This can also be accomplished by visiting jostens.com and searching St. Francis High School.
Local scholarships are now available in the counselor's office. Let's go to Katie and Devin, who got us more information.
First and foremost, seniors should all apply for the local scholarships through our local scholarship application. It's one online application, and it will automatically submit you to 30 or 40 different scholarships. And that can be found on our Senior Saints page on the district website. We also have links to many separate scholarship applications. We also have copies of those available in the counseling office. And those are due March 2nd So make sure you stop in, check out the wall of scholarships in the counseling office, and apply for any that you may be eligible for. Also, we have, if you're looking for other outside scholarships, there are a lot of scholarship search sites. So, for example, fastweb.com, scholarships.com, those are places where you can go, put in information about yourself, your family, your interests, your ethnicity, and the program will sort the scholarships down to ones that you would be eligible for, and then you can link to scholarship information and apply for them that way.
I use a website that helps, you put in your information about your grades and yourself, and then it gives you scholarships that you are able to apply for, and then I apply for those ones as fast as I can, unless they involve writing essays, then it takes me longer too.
I'm using fastweb.com. There's the ones in the school that I've been using, and maybe one or two more websites. I don't know, I'm applying to as many as I can.
Our local scholarship application deadline is March 2nd, as well as the separate application scholarships that we have in the counseling office. As far as other scholarships, a lot of them have deadlines at the end of March, some of them not even until later into spring and summer. So everyone is different, so make sure you check with each scholarship to find out what the deadlines are. Most scholarships are available to seniors. But there are some scholarships that are available to juniors, so I also encourage juniors and other underclassmen to check sites like fastweb.com, scholarship.com to see about scholarships that they can apply for.
Thanks for that information. In other senior news, planning for the senior all-night party is underway. Let's go to Misty with the story.
The senior overnight party is going to be incredible. It's just going to be fun. It'll be like your last hurrah. You've graduated, and it's the time for your last memories of high school before you go out into the real world. And what is involved is, of course, you get the t-shirt. Which we have to pick a theme yet. Is it going to be Hollywood? Is it going to be 80s? You guys can decide that for the next couple of weeks. So there are prizes. There's $500 scholarships. There's mini fridges, there's TVs, there's coffee pots. I don't even know what we're going to need help on. What do you guys want? Gas cards? What kind of prizes do you guys want? And then we can help pick those out for you. They offer cash drawings as well. There's lots of different things to do like that. It's $80. But that's a lot of the stuff that you get right there. Is in that. And besides, then you get the food. You get breakfast. You get... we got pizza, we got buffalo wings. I'm not all sure what else is going to go into that. After the initial, we're also going to do an early bird special. The people who get their money in from here until here, I'm not sure what that time is, that will be coming, has another prize drawing for whoever gets to there. $80 is the beginning. After that, it's going to be $90 and then $100. So you want to make sure you can get in on that first part when you're going to go. Parents, if your parents want to chaperone that night, go for it. On the little slip of paper that will eventually come out, there'll be something you can just sign there and that for that night. If you still want to join the committee, the parent committee, we are meeting February 7th at 6 p.m. at Blainbrook. Go to it, have fun, have a blast, enjoy your senior year. Thanks.
Thanks, Misty.
On Monday, SFHS started off Snow Week with Pet Fest and the coronation of Snow King and Queen.
Congrats to Tristan Hansen and Kayla Crone, who were crowned at Monday's ceremony.
Student Council put together the Pet Fest, while senior advisors Jamie Helly and Tammy Swirsky organized the coronation.
Despite the talking during the performances and activities, it was a great way for seniors to spend their last Pet Fest.
The speech team did really well at their first invitational last weekend at Andover and will be going to Duluth tomorrow. Let's go to Chi to see what he has for us.
Last week's invitational was fabulous. It was our first speech tournament ever this year. And the students just wowed me. They'd been working so hard. And we had 4 people into finals and 1 person that placed honorable mention. It was very exciting. You could feel the energy in the students. It was incredible.
I received the first place award in my category, which was informative, and felt unbelievable at first.
And, our first place was Emma Sace. She is an informative. She does an incredible job on nervousness of all things and how to stop being nervousness and what actually nervousness is.
I have been doing speech for 3 years, and it has really helped me just kind of get over, I was really shy, so I've kind of come out of my shell a little bit more now. Being able to talk in front of people is easier.
Our creative person, she placed first in honors finals, so she was first out of those 7 badges, which is fabulous.
I was really surprised because through the whole thing, I was watching all the speeches going down, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And the fact that that someone thought, oh yeah, she's the best out of these 8 kids, yeah, that was really cool to me.
Right. And then a newcomer, who this is her very first time doing speech ever, Hannah Bartell, she also got into finals. She placed 7th. It was an incredible thing to see. Everybody was so excited.
It was really nerve-wracking. We have 3 rounds that we do, so the first one I got 5th out of 5. The second one I got 1st out of 5, and my third round I got 3 out of 5. So then they posted 7 people that finaled, and I was one of the 7, and I almost started crying. I was so happy.
Just congratulate those students. When they come, ask them how they did. They work very, very hard, and it's going to be a great year.
Thanks, G. Hey, Jessica, I hear Drumline has had a really good year with their practices so far.
Yeah, they've really been growing as a competitive winter team. Let's go to Austin with the story.
I've been in drumline. I started in my 8th grade summer back in the marching band, and then I've been doing winter drumline since it started 4 years ago with our show Square One.
The head percussion is David Palermo. He oversees the entire drumline of concert percussion instruments like you've got snare drum and bass drum, gong, and all the other small percussion toys.
The snare drum's purpose and job in the drum line is it's the kind of the loudest instrument, so it's a focal point. People listen to that. People go off that.
In drumline, there's about 30 people, 12 in the front ensemble, and then about 18 in the battery. So each drumline is doing their own little story that's going to be completely different from any other group. And that's why it makes it really hard for judging, because they're all widely different. We're progressing faster than we have, of course, through any year. So I'm expecting to do really well this year. Last year we placed around 3rd to 4th on average at each competition. And there was about 5 competitions last year that we did.
The whole season, I'm really excited for finals. We're doing it at a new place this year, and finals is just always so much fun.
Our first competition is February 4th at Egan. I believe it is a 6 o'clock show. It's just pretty much the kickoff of our entire season. So if you guys want to make the trip down, go ahead.
Thanks, Austin. So you're in dance. How do competitions work?
Well, you start off going to prelim competitions, then you can move on to nationals, and if you're talented enough, you'll get to move on to worlds and compete against some of the best teams.
Oh, cool. Did you know that one of our students is going to Worlds?
Oh, no way. That's awesome. Who's going?
Jaden Cusick is going to Worlds in Irish dancing. That's why she is this week's 5 Minutes of Fame.
Let's go to Bailey with the scoop.
Student celebrities everywhere. This is why you should care about 5 Minutes of Fame.
How long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing for 11 years. I do Irish dancing.
How did you get into Irish dancing?
My grandma's from Ireland, and it's kind of family tradition. There's soft shoe and hard shoe, and soft shoe is like an Irish culture ballet, and hard shoe is like an Irish culture tap dance almost. Well, you have to have a different one for regionals, nationals, and worlds, so that's 3, and then you have to have another one for your regular competition season, so 4.
And where do you train at?
I train at Rinkin Cree, but I compete with Quartermore.
Yeah, how many hours a week do you practice?
I practice every single day from 3 o'clock to 10:30. I will be dancing at Worlds in March.
And where is it taking place?
This year it's in Dublin, Ireland.
Alright. And how did you get chosen to go to this event?
I placed first at nationals, and the top 10 get to go to Worlds. There's about 300 in my age category and like 4,000 total.
Looking ahead, this trimester's art show will be held at the end of February.
Nice and gentle. I'm going to put my relief sculpture in the art show. My favorite thing about sculpture and drawing is probably like the choice of doing what you want for a project. I like sculpture more than drawing because sculpture is just easier for me, I guess. I like it better.
The art show is going to be February 22nd in the IMC from 3:30 to 6:30. And students, friends, family are welcome to attend. There will be categories of photography, graphic design, sculpture, ceramics, drawing, and painting. Everybody gets a chance to vote for their favorite in the category, and there will be awards, snacks, and fun.
I like ceramics because it gives me a chance to be creative, you know. And I like mostly making functional things because I know I'm going to use them and I throw them away. That's why.
Before we go, Walker and Rianne set out to answer a question in the latest edition of You Ask, We Answer.
Why do you have red hair?
So I'll give you a simple answer and then a little more complex answer. Ross has red hair because his parents gave him the genes for red hair. And Rain and Ryan got genes for hair that isn't red. That's the simple answer. So those triplets are fraternal triplets. So it's like brothers and sisters sharing the same womb, born at the same time. So each one is formed from a separate egg and a separate sperm. Hair is actually a polygenic trait, which means that many genes code for that trait. So several genes from mom and several genes from dad are combined, and that makes each child unique, and each brother and sister are unique. And so one of the unique things about Ross is that he has red hair, and the other two do not.
That's all we have for you this week, Saints.
Hey Saints, welcome back to Weather. I'm Bree.
And I'm Rianne.
You may want to put on some shades and bundle up because today's high is 25 with sunshine and a low of 11.
Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 31 and a low of 22.
Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 26 and a low of 11. That's your cool forecast for this weekend. Have a nice weekend, Saints.
Hey Saints, I'm Rianne.
And I'm Misty. Welcome to sports. This year marks the 31st anniversary of annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day, a national observance celebrating the extraordinary achievements of women and girls in sports. The St. Francis Saints Activities Twitter account has a number of messages congratulating the women of St. Francis who have participated in sports.
This week, 2 seniors signed to continue their sport careers and educations. Chloe Jensen signed with the St. Mary Flames for softball, and Blake Hubner signed with Winona State to continue his football career.
Girls basketball had a game on Tuesday against Chisago Lakes and won with a score of 62-48. They have another game on Saturday at home against Cambridge at 5:45. The boys play at home on Saturday as well at 7 against Cambridge.
The boys played Chisago Lakes on Tuesday and won with a score of 61-54. They have a game tonight and scores will be posted online.
On the topic of basketball, St. Francis High School will be hosting the annual Coaches vs. Cancer event. Head boys coach Ryan Hauge has worked on this event for a number of years.
This year's event is held so that the community can show support to the Fryer family. Alyssa and Nastia got the story.
St. Francis Basketball Association and our St. Francis basketball coaches, about 5 or 6 years ago, started a Coaches versus Cancer, and now it's sort of changed to Community versus Cancer event that we've always done during our homecoming basketball weekend. And they've raised money for different families that were struggling with cancer. Sometimes, you know, we've chosen different families based on their involvement in youth athletics, or sometimes it might have been a teacher at our school.
Coaches versus Cancer is a doubleheader with the boys and girls basketball team, and it's a benefit for the Fryer family.
I think it's a great cause that our high school basketball association has gotten involved in. I'm not sure how many years they've done it. I know that they did it 5 years ago for my husband, and we appreciated all that they did then, and I certainly appreciate it now. It's a big help to anyone going through this journey.
I do think it's a good cause because it helps support a community member who's been really involved in our program and just a good part of our community. The importance is, well, from a player standpoint, it shows that you're bigger than just who you are. It shows you're part of a community, and just the support of showing support towards a community member really goes a lot.
I think once you're diagnosed with cancer, you know that life is short, that no one ever knows when the end will come or how long you have. So I think you embrace life more, and you try to live each day to its fullest and enjoy life more and not take things for granted.
I think the Coaches versus Cancer is a great way to support the family that they've chosen, and I'm very thankful that they chose my mom. On Saturday, dance sections will be held at Forest Lake High School. Kick will start at 11 and jazz will start at 1. On Tuesday, gymnastics had a meet at Princeton and won with a score of 136 to 123.5. Wrestling had a meet last night and scores can be found online. Tomorrow, freshman state will be taking place at Champlin High School. Good luck to our 6 freshmen that will be competing. Many of our wrestlers have done very well this year, including freshman Joey Lipinski, who placed 3rd in his weight class for sections and has a great season overall, making him our Rookie of the Week.
I've been wrestling for about like 10 years. I've grown up with it since my dad was a coach.
Oh boy, since he was about 4 years old he started, so a long time. I guess that would put him at about 10 years. Well, you know, obviously this is the first year at the 9th grade level. He's been participating on the junior varsity, and he went out to the Rumble on the Red and did real well out there at a varsity level. Which is kind of surprising because he's wrestling kids that a lot of times are much older than him, wrestling juniors and seniors as a freshman, so he's done a good job this year.
I've done fairly well this season. I have 9th grade state this weekend, and I placed 3rd at Rumble on the Red for JV.
Wrestling League qualifier, which entitles him to participate in the 9th grade state wrestling tournament this weekend. He won the Rumble on the Red, which is a 64 or 70 team tournament in December in Fargo, North Dakota. He's having a really good season. I'm not sure if he has any losses on our JV wrestling program, which puts him out there against the juniors, seniors, sophomores, and 9th graders from other schools in our conference. But he's having a really good year.
It's great to be in the high school room this year to get more experience and just wrestle with all the great people we have in the room.
Yep. Both boy hockey teams had tough games on Tuesday. They both lost against Andover, with JV scoring 0-5 and varsity scoring 0-9. Girls hockey had a game on Monday against the Panthers and lost 0-5 with 19 shots on goal. They have had another game tonight against Cambridge at 7 at the Isani Ice Rink. That's all we have for this week, Saints. Have a great weekend.